Fighting a Cage Fury 123 on September 1st. It's fight week officially. Kelvin Sterling. Kel, my man, how we doing? Happy fight week.
We're doing good. We're doing good. But we're right on schedule. Right on schedule.
And we haven't seen you fight in, I guess, almost a year to the date. Yesterday was a year to the date. In short, what you been up to, man? Where you been?
Training, just rehabilitating, get my mind right, get my body right,
And
and kind of enjoying the spoils of life.
you feel like you're 100% good to go, ready for everything now?
I- I'm 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 very good to go. Very, very, very much better than last time. Last time was like a shitty performance.
Well,
I
Karan
can't even
Reed too. He's a good fighter, and it was a tough fight for sure.
honestly, man, it was me, man. I was in like the worst shape of my life, a bad point in my life, kind of needed the money. Thought I could go out there and wrestle a kid. He was young. Felt like I just turned it into a wrestling match. But, with work, with the weight cut, with training, everything was just not going well. And, even that day of the fight, like I honestly was trying to like call out of the fight. And then my teammates were speaking to me and they were like, man, you're already here. This guy done trained and put in all the work and probably spent money and all type of things traveling. It was like you're kind of ruining it for him too. So, but more so, I was just like in my head about my own health because I tore my lung before.
Ah,
So because of the weight cut and how everything was going, I just was in my own head and it felt like my body wasn't up to par, which you can see. Like if anyone knows me, you can see, man, from the get go of that fight, I wasn't myself. you
and
know,
yeah, man,
I think I
and
threw, I think I threw one punch that fight.
yeah, yeah, exactly. You didn't seem like yourself.
like that's fucking crazy. I threw one punch. But
Well, now you're good. Now you're healthy, and
yeah,
you
yes,
you've been training at Law MMA. Let's start.
yes.
Let's start there because that's kind of the big story right now, right? Training with your brother Aljamain, coming off a loss last week, 292, first loss in a while, potentially the bantamweight GOAT. So I just want to know, like, from an inside perspective, what was the reaction, and how's everyone doing now? How's Aljamain doing?
Honestly, my reaction was like that ref sucked. I felt like he stopped the fight before Aljo could even like
It was weird.
give it a full, you know. Man, that man's one of the toughest men I know. He would rather go out on his shield. And I'm not taking anything away from Sean O'Malley. Caught him with a good counter, but at the same time, Aljo got hit with like about 5 or 4 clean strikes on the ground after he got dropped. Still was moving and kicking. Ref didn't even stop the fight, and then as soon as he go turtle to get up, that's when you stop the fight. Doesn't make sense to me, especially after seeing Zhang throw about 200 and something strikes to Lemos,
Yeah.
and they let it go on. Man, it just doesn't make sense. But whatever, it's in the past. Aljo's over it. He's in better spirits. We're in better spirits, and if given the rematch, we all know what's going to happen. And they don't even talk about it, which makes no sense. 4-time defending champ, 9 win streak. How do you not even mention a rematch?
It's weird, man. It's almost like they don't want to give him the rematch because they like Sean as their poster boy and they're afraid they're going to lose him. You know what I mean?
Like even the promotion, like that day, like they did absolutely no promotion for their champ, which was Aljo at the time. And you would think that Sean O'Malley was the champ the way they did a whole music video and all that bullshit they did, but it's whatever. Everything happens for a reason, I say. Lesson learned. You go out there and you just take care of business next time.
I hope the rematch comes, much deserving of it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But we know how UFC brass works. So we'll hope. We'll hope. But and then just for the casuals watching this, man, kind of just name drop some of your training partners. You're at one of the best gyms in the world.
Matt Favola, Steve Lee, you got the quiet man, Dylan Montello, you got Armando Jetia, you got Nazim. Man, we got killers, Dennis Bazooka, Damon Nelson. We could keep going. We got Troy Sterling, my other brother. Like, man, I can keep going. Like, the name don't stop. Like, Aldo always said it. We don't have the best equipments and stuff in that gym, but what we do have are the greatest people in there. And
Right.
we're the best gym alive.
And from all the names you mentioned, who's coming with you to be in your corner?
Aljo himself and Steve Lee.
Mr.
Steve, the
CFFC
manager.
Hall of Famer, Aljamain Sterling.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The GOAT, the real bantamweight GOAT.
And from New York, who's all coming as an entourage? You guys got people coming down?
Honestly, we got a whole group coming. I'm not sure exactly everyone who's coming, but a bunch of family, friends, and a couple of teammates. It's gonna be a good crowd. It's
And
gonna be a good fight.
you're sharing the card with Troy, your other brother.
Yes, yes.
His first fight back in what, like 4 years? So how special has camp been training together to be on the same fight card?
Yeah, man. Troy's one of the greatest fighters out there to me, in my opinion. I've always been telling him, just stay consistent, your time's coming. And I really truly believe it, man. One day you'll see him on the big screens.
And yeah, man, that Longo Weidman crew, like I just said, you guys are all so talented. So glad to hear you all will be in the building. Excuse me, and you're taking on Hunter Starner. I saw Hunter fight his last time out at what was that, CFFC 120. Pretty
Yeah,
talented kid, tough guy.
yeah.
What are your thoughts on him?
Honestly, I don't really know much of him. I know he just fought Picciano, I believe.
Hmm.
And I mean, like, I don't really pay too much attention to my opponents. I kind of just check their stance, whether they're southpaw or orthodox. I check their size, like their build, their height, and pretty much that's it. I don't like to get too caught up on how they fight, because then in the fight you'll start thinking too much about what they'll do instead of thinking about what you're gonna do. So that's my mental on it. But
So
he looks like a tough kid,
yeah,
very persevered, like
yeah, he's tough. That's what I would mark him down as. He's a tough fighter. That's his classification. And I saw him fight in person. I've seen you fight, just not in person before. I'm excited to see you fight in person on Friday night. That being said, for those who haven't seen you fight, what kind of style, energy do you bring to the octagon? What can we expect to see?
Well, this fight is gonna be hopefully one of my greatest fights ever, because I finally feel good. I'm finally understanding how to do a weight cut. Like before, I was still eating gummy bears and fried food, and I was doing whatever the fuck I wanted. I'm from the streets, man. Like I never really thought this was ever gonna be my life. Like until my brother showed me, like, yo, anyone can do it. Like what I'm
Yeah.
saying, it's hard work and consistency. And I mean, I love fighting. I always grew up watching fighting. I grew up actually fighting in the streets and shit like that. But I never really thought that this could be me. And when I transitioned into it, it was still me holding on to like my old ways and trying to convert into the new ways. And everyone knows how it is trying to drop bad habits, especially when you
Not
love
easy.
candy and junk food and all that shit.
Yeah, right. So, do you got any sort of like prediction, or at least how do you think the fight's going to play out?
Honestly, I'm telling myself I actually want to go 3 rounds.
Ooh.
I'm not looking for a knockout. I'm not chasing a knockout. I just want to know, like, yo, I belong in there. I can last with anyone in there. And I want to go out there and dominate for 3 rounds. Hopefully, that's exactly how it goes. If I get out of there any sooner, then hopefully it's on my end taking him out. And, let's do it. Let's bang. Let's see who's the better man. Like, what I'm saying? I just want to show that I belong here, you know?
And not every fighter says that, right? Most fighters are like, I want that knockout, I want that quick sub. So it shows a lot of heart, a lot of balls, even to say you want to go a hard 15 minutes. And is any of that to do with, because there's a couple factors, right? You're coming off of a time off, so you're extra hungry, but you're also coming off of a loss, and you're looking for that first pro win. So
Mm-hmm.
what is that doing for your mindset?
I mean, like I never really get too caught up on winning. They say you focus on the wrong things and you'll get the wrong results.
Sure.
I try to focus on making sure like my tools are working, my mental is there, and that I just belong there, man. Like it's a fight. I expect him to be tough. I expect him to be well trained. If not, then what are you doing in this sport? And let's go. Let's just see what's happening. Like I don't think too much about the layoff because I've been training. I've been more so concerned about the dieting, more so concerned about the rehydration. I actually tore my lung before. It's called the Mallory Weiss syndrome.
Brutal.
And that fight with Caron Reeds, I kind of felt like I was feeling a little bit of that feeling that I felt the fight before when I actually tore my lung. And that's kind of what was in my head, like, So, and as you can see, like my performance, the first 20 seconds, 30 seconds, like I just felt gassed. I looked gassed. And upon prepping for that fight, like I was working a job every single day. I literally drove to PA the day of my fight and then drove back for work and then had to drive back to PA again after I parked the truck. I didn't get no sleep. After I weighed in, the rehydration process, I felt nauseous even trying to eat. I never ate pasta before until 2 months ago. So pasta is like one of the main things these guys eat when they go to rehydrate and stuff like that. And when we went to the Italian spot, I'm just like, what am I gonna eat? Because I don't eat none of this shit. I literally ate like 2 scoops of rice later that night, a bread, and a fucking hot dog. Pause.
Not enough calories, my
Pause.
man.
No, but for real, like no BS. Like I worked the whole week through that week, that fight week. I was at Fitness Export trying to cut the last 10 pounds the night before, and I couldn't cut it. It was just like I couldn't break a sweat. So I ended up staying up until like about 4 or 5 in the morning, and then I just said fuck it and I left. I still had about what 3, 4, 5 pounds to go. I went to work, like I said, came back. When I drove to PA, we put all the windows up, had a hoodie on, sauna suit, turned on the heat, drove all the way out there, still 2.5 pounds over.
Mm.
My body felt so depleted. I felt like a dead zombie. And to know that I had to cut 2 more pounds when I reached, it was just like, huh. And then you had this whole team antagonizing me, and I'm just in my own head. I got upset. I let my anger get the best of me. It was just bad fight, bad experience. Everything just not going my way. But you live and you learn. Start to do things the right way. Start to feel like I feel good this one. Feel good.
Good, man. I'm very excited to see how it translates
Not
in
if
the
not
octagon.
taking anything away from that peanut head Caron Reeds, but I'd love to slap him up again, man. Like for real, I would really love to get that rematch. I tried to call him out right after that fight and tell him like exactly what was going down, and he thought it was an excuse, or he just said, "Nah, whatever." Took a. I think he scheduled a fight about 15 minutes. He said when he walked out that cage, he said, "Not even 15 minutes. I scheduled my next fight." Then he goes and get choked out.
Yep.
I was just so upset. Like, damn, man, you're making me look bad. You're making me look like I can't fight.
Well, me and Karen are we're Instagram mutuals. We've interviewed a few times. Maybe I'll try to set that up after this big
Set
win.
that
Yeah.
up for me. Set that up. Set that up. Tell him I'm still a little vexed about that one. You
So,
know, I ain't like the way his team was on me. I ain't like the way he was on me. I ain't like the way that fight played out. I ain't like the way he stared at me. I ain't like the way he slammed me. Like I ain't never got slammed like that in my life. Not in practice. Not in like yo. That shit was crazy.
we'll say less after your big 123 win. I'll work on setting that up for you guys.
Let's do
And
it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
other than Karan Reed, what other goals do you have in MMA? Like, are you looking to fight again in 2023?
Well, it all depends on how this fight goes. They say never look ahead of what's in front of you. So I gotta make sure I take care of business now, at least come out in good health. If I come out in good health, win, lose, or draw, I am willing and considering fighting again before the year's up. Doesn't matter what promotion. Um, yeah, man. Just trying to get the feels, start to actually feel what it feels like because it's all new to me still. Like, trust me, I started this around COVID or a little bit before COVID, and even that like kind of interfered with training and how things were going. So, I still tell people I'm a newbie.
Yeah, you're definitely newer to the sport, and being at a gym like that kind of just accelerates you through the rankings pretty quickly. So,
Exactly. Like I took my first fight amateur when I was only like 3 months in worth of training, and then
geez,
I won another one, and then they offered me the title. And I said, fuck it. I took it and I lost, obviously. I didn't get my ass whipped or nothing, but
it happens. Well, I mean, so you're 34 years old, right? You're not like a 22-year-old prospect. And
exactly.
so what are your goals in MMA still? Like, what do you want to accomplish still?
I just want to give it 5 good years, make as much money out of it as I can, gain some sponsors, gain some new friends, teammates, and just one day be able to give back as I keep on progressing.
No doubt, man. And before I get you out of here, Kelvin, I just want to give you the opportunity, man, with all the support you guys have up in New York and all the Cage Fury fans, even all the Cage Side Press people watching this interview. Is there anything you want to say to everybody? If so, the mic is yours.
Well, guys, you finally get to see the Funk Monster show up. I get to finally put in some work. Finally show that I belong here. And win, lose, or draw, I'm gonna go out there, lay it out, be on my shield if I must. And like I said, I just want to fight 3 full rounds, just get the whole experience, and show that, man, the Sterlings are the truth. That's a name you're gonna have to put up in the sky one day.
And
You know,
so you're the Funk Monster. We got the Funk Master. Does Troy have a nickname?
That's Troy Grimes, you know.
I didn't know if he had a
Funk,
funk,
funk, funk Grimes.
Funk grinds. Okay, okay. The Sterling family, the Funk family, don't matter. You're all going to be in the building, Parks Casino, September 1st, Cage Fury 123. Kelvin, my man, thank you so much for the time. Can't wait to see it go down. And afterwards, I'll get you with that beer, okay?
Okay, thank you.